Hey, this is Steven Platinum, your friend in Wrestling with Platinum versus NXT. The last one on Sci-Fi for hopefully quite a while. We are looking at August 3rd, 2021. What can I say? Really good show. The main event, a ton of fun. The payoff, I thought, could not really have been booked better. It was absolutely lovely. Let's go. I love this NXT show. I really do. We're at the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Wade Barrett, Beth Phoenix, they've managed to give, I think, the Performance Center, this hasn't been said enough, a really great look, a really great sound, a really great feel. It's just really, really cool. It's definitely not an epic show on par with, like Raw or SmackDown with that humongous screen and all that stuff and the gigantic crowd, but I like the vibe of NXT, no doubt about it. Hit Row against Legado del Fantasma, which they've set up for a long time. At the end, it's old school wrestling booking, right? Escobar smacks Dalla in the back with a steel chair for the DQ at the end when it looks like they're getting that strong momentum to get the win. And then afterwards, boom, big fight. Hit Row manages to kind of get it together and send Legado del Fantasma scattering. So things are definitely not over betwixt the two. William Regal, security team approaching Samoa Joe. Now that Joe's an active competitor, the guards are going to stay with him to make sure Karrion Kross and he do not attack each other before TakeOver 36. Good luck with that. But it's nice, and it's what would be done in this situation, if you know. Ridge Holland returned last week, helping out Dunn and Lorcan take out Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa. Holland's going to make his in-ring debut tonight. All makes sense. Oh boy, is that lovely. Back from the break, we see Dexter Lumis backstage with some of his drawings for the way. We get Ridge Holland against Ike Menjito. Poor Ike Menjito. Holland destroys him. Big suplex, and then drives him into the mat in the center of the ring for the win. Dunn and Lorcan join him. Dunn talks, puts Holland over. They taunt and threaten Ciampa and Thatcher. They're the three most dangerous men in WWE. Ooh, challenging anyone else to prove them wrong. I like that. Mackenzie Mitchell is backstage with Frankie Monet, Robert Stone, and Jesse Camilla. They bring up the loss that they had to Casey and Caden. Monet stops Stone from speaking, blames the loss on Stone, and says Stone and Camilla are used to losing because they're losers, and said if this little group is going to work, it has to be rebuilt in her image, her way, her rules. Monet tells Stone to take it or leave it. He says he will take it. Monet walks off. Camilla follows. Stone follows them, going on how he will take the offer, not leave it. Brief promo for Roderick Strong versus Bobby Fish. Cool. Back from the break, we get a Trey Baxter promo for tonight's breakout tournament match against Joe Gacy. That should be a good one. Bobby Fish against Roderick Strong. They're going at it. This is your wrestle match of the show. Roderick Strong at the end wins. Diamond Mine stands over Fish. We see Cameron Grimes backstage with LA Knight for a little bit of fun. Knight needs to know he can trust Grimes against the grizzled young veterans. Grimes is in his butler attire, goes on about how he's a man of his word. He'll be there for Knight, but will Knight have his back? Knight says he wouldn't make the $1 million title look bad and guarantees he'll have Grimes back. Knight makes Grimes shine his boot before they head out. I like that they do these segments, and then, you know what, you see the match. It just makes so much more sense. LA Knight and Cameron Grimes against the grizzled young veterans. This Grimes shining thing at the end is definitely the highlight of the match. Super cool. But at the end, they get the, they hit him with the ticket to mayhem. Basically, he's left to fight them off 2-on-1, more or less. Grimes tries to recover as Drake and Gibson talk trash on the ramp. Knight is gone. Ted DiBiase comes down and talks to Grimes, saying he warned Grimes that Knight wouldn't be there for him. Ted says Grimes has to find a way to get out of this situation. All right. Dakota Kai will explain her turn on Raquel Gonzalez. By the way, I really like this $1 million thing going on because, again, they're making sure that Grimes isn't betraying Knight, even though he has every reason to, and now they fully justified Grimes trying to get out of their arrangement. I like it. It's just pure babyface stuff, and I like that attention to detail. Dakota Kai is going to explain her turn on Raquel Gonzalez. We get a promo for Samoa Joe to hype his match with Karrion Kross at TakeOver 36, and we see how Dakota Kai turned on Raquel Gonzalez last week. A very good promo and a very good segment for Kai. I really like it. They really tell the whole story, and they take their time with it. It's really good. Mackenzie's backstage with Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. They talk about tonight's big love her or lose her match against Dexter Lumis, and they know what's best for Indy Hartwell. Gargano says the fate of the family and the fate of Indy's life rests in his hands, and he must do whatever it takes to protect Indy. Gargano says tonight he will end Index, and LeRae says he will end it for good. They walk off. Video promo for Joe Gacy for tonight's breakout tournament against Trey Baxter. Back to commercial. Back from the break, Vic says Adam Cole is not currently medically cleared to wrestle. We show how Kyle O'Reilly attacked Cole last week and mauled him. I mean, that suplex on the stairs looked brutal. There will be a face-to-face between Cole and O'Reilly next week, moderated by William Regal. Sounds good to me. Again, building up the next shows, building up TakeOver. NXT Breakout Tournament, Baxter against Gacy. It's a good match. Definitely a good match. Typical of what you would see in a high-level indie or like Impact Wrestling. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Certainly watch it if you'd like to. It's definitely good. At the end of the day, 450 Stomp is pretty nuts. Baxter ends up winning this one. That 450 Stomp is pretty crazy. Baxter stands tall and celebrates as the music hits. Gacy recovers. We get an updated look at the breakout brackets. Baxter versus Jones. Duke Hudson versus Carmelo Hayes are confirmed for the semifinals. NXT Women Tag Champs, Io Shirai, Zoe Stark. They're at a sushi restaurant. Oh boy. She still isn't interested in being friends. She wants to form a bond like Shirai had with Kairi Sane and says this is exactly what they needed to do. Shirai orders the food in Japanese. Stark, of course, doesn't know what she's saying. She just says she'll have what Shirai is having. Stark hates sushi. Stark's acting like she likes the food. It's very ridiculous, but it's kind of cool bonding moment of the sort between the two. Starks asks the waitress, who she assumes is from Japan, but she isn't. She's from Kansas, but a light bulb appears to go off in Stark's head. She's going to go take some of the food with her, but she changes her mind and walks off. Okay. Mackenzie is backstage with Indy Hartwell. She asks who Indy is pulling for tonight. Indy says it's complicated. On one hand, you have family and true love on the other. I like that they're just laying the story out there for people who are watching for the first time. She says she's pulling for Dexter Lumis, but if Gargano and Candice LeRae would give him a shot, they'd see he's not really a bad guy, just misunderstood. Tonight, we'll find out if it's meant to be or not. Okay. Announcers are talking about the main event when Karrion Kross storms over with a mic. He addresses Samoa Joe. Kross asks Joe who provoked who. It's whom. Joe storms to the ringside area as Kross retreats through the crowd. Security tries to stop Joe, but he fights them off. He enters the ring to continue dropping security guards. He applies the coquina clutch to one guard. Fans chant Joe as he puts the guard to sleep. So they did their job, but Joe still got spots in. It's a good moment. The announcers lead us to a preview of the Dragunov versus Walter rematch, oh boy, which takes place at TakeOver 36 during SummerSlam weekend. That thing is going to be bonkers. Includes comments from Triple H, William Regal, Dragunov, and Walter, of course. Boy, if you didn't see their other matches, you need to do it. This thing is going to be bonkers. Still to come, the Lover or Loser main event to commercial. We hear from Cruiserweight champ Kushida, who was impressed with Roderick Strong's win over Bobby Fish and will give him a title shot. That's a cool thing. Announced for next week is Raquel Gonzalez responding to Dakota Kai, Ember Moon versus Soray, an appearance by Dragunov. Cool. Now we have the match, Johnny Gargano against Dexter Lumis. It's great. Go out of your way to watch it. And at the end, Gargano wins, but Indy is disappointed. They're walking to the back with her, but then she just can't help herself. She just can't help herself, and she charges in the ring and makes out with Lumis, and it's ridiculous and hilarious and a wonderful payoff to the whole kit and caboodle.